artists, it's Mrs. Elseri here. Today we are going to do a How to Draw Animals Pets edition. So we are going to start by looking at some art by George Rodriguez. He is an artist that was born in Louisiana, and he wanted to include parts of his Cajun heritage in his art. So this included people, traditions, and mythology. He's known for his Blue Dog series, based on a French Cajun legend, and that's really what he's famous for, in addition to some really interesting landscape paintings. So he was a philanthropist, which means he wanted to give back to people, not only through his art, but he had a foundation for the arts, saying it's important to keep art and education, which I agree with. So his art programs included providing supplies, scholarships, and bringing more art to schools in the area where he lived and worked. So let's start with our how to draw a blue dog. So we're just gonna start with the basic shapes of drawing this dog. We're gonna start with a circle for the head. Sometimes I say to have something to trace nearby for a circle, but animals don't really have a perfect circular head. So I'm just gonna kind of roughly draw a circle, and it doesn't need to be perfect. So we're gonna do that at the top of our paper, nice and big. We want our dog to take up the whole paper. That way it's fun to color in. The next step is to work on, we're gonna actually go to the nose next, and we're gonna make this weird open oval in the middle of the head. And then we're gonna come down and make a circle at the end. So I'm trying to think of what shape this reminds me of. It's just a circle with a long skinny oval at the end. Kind of looks like a tadpole. And then we're gonna add a little circle or upside down triangle for the nose. And then his mouth is gonna be a rainbow shape right about there. So George Rodriguez, his paintings of these dogs are known for being very expressive. So he would put all kinds of different colors and patterns in the background. So you can also do that when we're done here. So I'm working on his eyes. They're two marble-sized shapes. And then I put the pupils in the middle. Don't worry, he's gonna look cuter once we work on him a little bit more. Then you can work on the ears. He is gonna have big pointy ears. So, triangle at the top. Try to make the same size. They're a little bit to the sides of the head. They're not sticking straight up. And then you can make a mini triangle inside where the fuzzy part is. And you can pause and catch up on this part before we move on, if you would like. I'm just doing the very basics in this lesson. So the next part's gonna be his neck. Make that a little bit on the skinnier side. And then his shoulders are gonna get wider. I've noticed when people draw shoulders, they tend to start very small. Don't be afraid to make the shoulders go out pretty wide because they're gonna go into his body next. I'm gonna fix up this line. So his neck is not like a person's neck. It's very short and stocky. So you don't wanna make it like much longer than maybe the length of half of your finger. out, and even I could even go out more if I wanted to, just to show the volume of his body, but let's see where this takes us. So the next step, after we have his shoulders, we're actually going to go back in and stop about an inch from the bottom. We're going to do the same thing on the other side, and it's going to start to come in a little skinnier at the bottom, kind of like a bottle. And the reason why you leave a little bit of room is because we need his feet. So right now it looks really funny. It's just like this dog's head with a bottle shape. This is how I always like to draw dogs because it helps you get like the real shape of the body. We're looking at him from a front on point of view. And then for his feet, oh, my pencil just broke. I actually ran out of room down here, so the more room at the bottom, the maybe like a finger's length. That might be better. Okay, so I had to adjust some things. I realized that I needed a little more room at the bottom so I don't squish the feet in. So what I did is I took my finger and I made sure that I had at least a finger's length from the bottom of the body and the edge of my paper. And if you have smaller fingers than mine, I still think it'll be enough room. You just don't want to go all the way down because then you're going to cram the foot in there and it's going to look kind of strange. You want your entire artwork to look great. So I'm going to add a foot by making this little shoe shape. That's gonna make the paw, and then it's gonna come up about halfway on the body. Whatever I do to one side, we're gonna make it the same on the other. So again, come down, leave a little bit of room, make that little boot shape, and then follow it all the way up. I like to check the other side to make sure they're pretty even. You don't want this one going up here and this one down here. All right, and I'm gonna back up again so you can see. So that's what he looks like so far. We are moving right along. I think he needs his belly part to finish off the body and some hind legs. And if you want to add a tail in this, you can. Sometimes Rodrigo would have the tail kind of cropped out. It really depends on the way you're looking at your dog. So I will leave that to your artistic judgment. But let's finish his legs up. So you're going to do the hind legs, which in a dog are usually a little bit bigger and more powerful. And then I add that little foot shape at the bottom. So these kind of start at the middle of the body on the outside. You're gonna make a long swooping line down like shoulders, but then you're gonna add a little shoe type shape for the paw. So he's kind of sitting like that. And then I need to know where to draw that line for his belly. So since I did the legs first, then now I know I can just kind of connect them with a little rainbow shape. All right, so that is like a really basic way to draw a blue dog in the style of George Rodrigo. And the next part is you can kind of touch him up a little bit, color him in. Usually Rodrigo would color in the nose black and leave this part white on his face, and then the rest would be different shades of blue. You can even dress him up. I've had art teacher friends that teach this project, and they'll put him in different locations. So you can draw a beach scene behind, or draw flowers, or maybe put like a hockey jersey on him. Think about if he's wearing something or if he's in a place, then you can make the setting reflect that. Okay, so the next video that we're going to watch in this How to Draw Pet series is going to be a bunny. So we're going to do a close-up of the bunny, and we're going to start near the top of the paper for the head, but you need room for the long ears. So I'm gonna actually maybe start towards the middle, holding your paper nice and tall, and you're going to draw, it's almost gonna be like a potato or a pear shape. So we're going to do it together. Start with a big rainbow. And then just make a slight bigger half circle at the bottom. So to do that again, start with a big rainbow near the middle of your paper, and then you can make your pencil lines come out a little bit on each side, and then connect them at the bottom. I'm thinking a big pear or potato shape. This is gonna give your bunny cheeks. And then you can make his body come down. Just 2 swooping lines. It's a close-up, so you can only see part of the shoulders. The ears are very important, so I'm gonna draw very long, tall ears. Also something that distinguishes a rabbit from other animals. Nice and tall, big, long, pointy football shapes. I'm going to draw the circle first, and it might look kind of funny at first, like he has a big nose, but this isn't the actual nose. The next part, you're gonna make a triangle, upside down triangle, inside, and then a straight line down, and then you can give him a little smile. So the circle going around helps people see your art and picture it like his nose comes off of his face a little bit. If you want, you can add some circles to the cheeks and color those in pink or red to make it more cutesy. And then I'm going to take 2 diagonal lines and go all the way up to the top of the head like that, where the eyes are going to go. And then you can add some eyelashes if you want, if you're making a cutesy rabbit. And then shade it in. They have very big eyes. You can even leave a little bit of white in there to make it look more realistic, like there's a highlight. So just color in most of it. Leave a tiny little spot in the corner blank, just like that. All right, let's back up and see what we got so far. I think he's looking pretty cute. So the next part can be adding some texture. So texture is the way that something looks or feels. So what I'm going to do is start putting little vertical dashes all over the ears. We'll start with that.